Good morning, Formation friends. It's a new day. It's Friday. You're getting ready for the end of the week, the beginning of the weekend. And today, I want to consider with you how to use your mouth wisely, how to use your mouth in agreement with God's perspective. Isn't that what life's about? For us to be speaking in line with or even representing the person of God on the earth. So I want to encourage you, use your mouth wisely, use it from God's perspective. Today, let's look at Proverbs 10. We're on the 10th of March. We're looking at a proverb a day, going through the month, aligning with Lent, aligning with the wisdom of God, preparing ourselves for the next season of what God's doing on the earth. So, Proverbs 10, I want to highlight just a couple verses. Verse 2, ill-gotten treasures have no lasting value. Think about that for a moment. Ill-gotten treasures, meaning things that you've gained in your life that you've gotten through some weaseling, some maybe mild deception. Uh, those things that won't produce lasting positive effect because things don't. The things we gain in this world are as much about how we get them and their meaning as they are about the thing. So remember that. How you get things, why you get things is as important, if not more, than what you get and achieve. Let's jump down to verse 8. I really like verse 8, particularly in the Passion Translation. It says, the heart of the wise will accept instruction. Well, we've been hearing that concept throughout Proverbs, and you will, because it's a book in wisdom literature. But listen again, the heart of the wise accept instruction, but those who do all the talking are too busy to learn. What does that mean? Have you ever talked to somebody and you're helping to instruct them or bring correction, and they spend all their time explaining to you why they did it and what their motives were, and maybe you're misunderstanding? Let's say you're coaching them in a physical activity, and you say, "This is how you have to do it," and they explain, "This is why it's difficult for me. I don't know if I can." Or you're explaining relationally what they need to do, maybe marriage counseling or how to speak the truth in love, and they are always explaining why it is so difficult for them or why their way might be better than what you're suggesting. Let me read the verse again. The heart of the wise will accept instruction, but those who do all the talking are too busy to learn. Think about yourself. When people help you or bring instruction to you, do you receive it or do you explain yourself? Thank you for the comment there. Absolutely incredible. I really appreciate that. Verse 11, the mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life. Oh my goodness. You know that? What if our mouths in our marital relationship, family relationships, work relationships, in the neighborhood, that our mouths became a fountain of life? That isn't just high, lofty spiritual concept. No, what we say brings life, brings encouragement, brings hope. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence, or you could say has an ulterior motive. We don't ever need to talk on one level and have a motive on another level. Or sometimes what we call passive aggressive communication is to say one thing but mean another and really hope they get it. That's not how to communicate. How we want to communicate is to be a fountain of life in how we communicate. Verse 12, hatred stirs up conflict or keeps old quarrels alive. Love, however, covers all wrong. So let's consider that one for a moment, too. Some people like to hold and keep a record of wrongs in a relationship. Some families do it, some Countries and cultures do it for generations. Stir up conflict and remember what was done to me. I remember when you did this, or your family did this to our family. Keeps a record of wrongs, keeps old quarrels alive. But love covers over all wrongs. Well, what does that mean? That you just kind of like pretend it didn't happen? No, the kingdom never pretends, never glosses over. What we need to do is first to process things. Let's say you're having a conflict with a person or even a conflict with a group of people. You want to take the time to reflect. I'm really big about reflecting. So you take the time to reflect and understand things from a solid, clear, perspective that aligns with God's perspective. So, first, you process to understand really what went on. Secondly, you forgive what needs to be forgiven. Forgive doesn't mean you have to get them to make things right. No, you come to a place where you recognize what's been done. Maybe you've been done wrongly. Maybe you've been treated poorly. You recognize that. You bring that to God and you release them from their debt to owe you repayment. And you receive comfort from God. So you process and you forgive before God and you move on.com. Just move on. Live life as if that offense has been released and you can now relate rightly. What you want to do is see correctly. What you want to do is relate from God's perspective. That's how to live. Let's look at the verse again. Hatred stirs up conflict and keeps hold or renews old quarrels, keeps them alive. But love covers over the wrongs because it's processed, forgiven, and released. And now I can relate to you in a positive way. It's not from a self referenced, self defense, self justification process. What I'm just sharing is really good for marriage counseling. We don't have to live a self referenced, self justifying, self promoting way. No, we're going to deal in reality. We're going to forgive from God's perspective. We're going to move on.com and live as if it didn't need to bother us anymore. Last thing I'm going to mention in terms of the verses or highlight is verse 22. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil. It's not without work, it's without painful toil. Painful toil in Proverbs kind of links to the fall, to the sinfulness of human beings. Part of the curse was you're going to work hard and you're going to produce thorns and thistles. You're going to get work from really hard toil. But the presence and the forgiveness and the favor of God, with those come still work, but fruitfulness, so that the blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil. You still have to be wise. You still have to work. You invest your life in alignment with God. And when we invest our lives in alignment with God over time, the favor of God opens the doors. The favor of God brings fruit. So I want to encourage you, if you're in a season, could be long, could be short, where everything's toil, hard work, you want to figure out what kind of alignment do you need to lay hold of. Maybe you're not operating well. Maybe you're not operating in the right place. Maybe some of the things we talked about in this proverb are out of whack. You need to forgive so that you can be free. So reflect and process over your day, over your life, over your relationships, and forgive and move on. Use your mouth as a spring of life. Use your mouth to bring life, to bless people wherever you are. And lastly, let's think about today. Is there anybody you need to forgive that you've been holding on to old pain or old justification? Is there anybody you need to forgive? Can you relate to them in a new way when you release them? And lastly, where can you speak life today? Consider your day. Is there any place or to any particular person or persons that you can speak hope and life. Lift it up before the Lord and prepare yourself to do that. Today, consider the one thing God most wants you to accomplish today and go for it. Catch you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.